Hey y'all, welcome back. Hope I had a good weekend. It's Monday, so on Project Frankenstang again. Today I got the ECM put in, ECM harness, clutch pedals, brackets, chassis harness, park brake, and some other stuff. As far as mounting all that stuff, I love to make videos and take all my time and show you how to do all this and clean all the parts and all that other stuff. But honestly, if I had somebody to help video, that'd be awesome. So for me, it's just easy to just kind of show y'all where everything goes, the correct way it's supposed to be mounted, and how it's supposed to be laid out. So maybe one day I'll get a helper and help video, and we can do a little bit more in-depth videos than kind of what I do. But that's till then. But thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. So let's get over on the other side and show you all what we got done today. All right, so what we got done today, we got firewall pad installed. We got clutch pedals and bracket put in. We got the ECM harness and everything all cleaned up and the ECM back in place. Got the wiring harness for the stereo installed, park and brake, armrest bracket, and all that stuff installed. Now, the little surface rust on the clutch pedals and brackets and all that stuff, 99% of them have that. Now, if you want to clean that up, that rust kill stuff, that rust dissolve, that works awesome on them. I've done it before. This one's just got some minor. Otherwise, I probably would. If it was any worse than what it is, I would have took it down and cleaned it up down to nice bare metal. If you do that, once it's cleaned up, hit it with some carb cleaner, and then just go back over it with some like satin rattle can clear. It keeps it from rusting. When I do the dash frame, I'm gonna look at the dash frame. If it's any worse than that bracket there, I'll probably do the dash frame, clean it up, and to make it look new again, because I'm going to re-dye the dash anyway, so I might do that anyway. And if I do, I'll show you how to clean all that, re-clear it, and put it all back together and make it look new. So that's all I got done today. We'll walk over here, show you the other side real quick. The harness put in all the way through there. Looks factory, probably just a little bit too much paint, but all that put back in. There's an airbag sensor, for those guys that don't know. 90 to 93 has an airbag sensor right there. And the harness going all the way back. So that's the firewall pad. Everything looking pretty much new. And amp harness looking pretty much new. So that's all I got done for today. I'm going to do the carpet. I'm waiting on some parts for the dash. I ordered a new heater core. And I bought a couple cans of opal interior dye from NPD versus late model. I'm going to see which one's better. I know NPD actually uses SEM interior dye, and I'm not sure where LMR gets theirs, but I can tell you, if you're restoring your car, the late model stuff's fine. Just buy about 8 cans. Find 2 of the cans that are almost exactly the same color and use those as a top coat cans only, because most of them cans are hit or miss whether they're the same color or not. You could buy them on the same day and it'd be the same batch number. So I'm not sure where they're getting theirs at. My son did some vents on his 93 Cobra, and it matched his original dash pad perfect, and he got that from NPD, and it is SEM, so I'm going to see how that works. Hopefully they'll be here by Thursday. I'm going to go ahead and get the carpet put in it, clean it up, and you probably wonder why I'm putting the carpet in it, because when I put the dash in it, I don't feel like laying on hard steel floor, and the carpet actually acts as some nice padding to set the dash on when you mount it, so you don't scratch the dash up. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get the carpet cleaned up and get it put in, and we'll be waiting on some other stuff, and we'll just keep doing what we can do on this video, and we'll go from there. All right, so continuing, I've got the carpet put in. I cleaned it up just a little bit yesterday. Now I did say my OCD did get the best of me. I went ahead and pulled this clutch pedal out. I'm gonna go ahead and clean the rust off of that. I'll show what it looks like and what I'm using. All right, so the actual bracket itself is not too bad. A little light surface rust. The 2 brackets, the main one bolts to the cowl, and the A-pillar is kind of bad. That's kind of what was bugging me. That's what I'm going to use right there, is a Rust-Oleum rust dissolve. It works really good, and it should make that look brand new when we're done. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera, and you guys can watch me clean this off real quick and just show you how easily this stuff takes rust off. It's amazing shit. All right, so I have the camera set up a little bit. You're probably seeing more of me than what you really want to. So like I said, this is where your gloves when you mess with this stuff. I've always used a just old nasty $10 or $15 plastic container. Some dirt in there from last time. If you got really heavy, scaly rust, it's best to put it in and let it soak for an hour or 2. I do not recommend leaving anything overnight. Basically because when you do nuts and bolts and all that stuff, when you're cleaning it with this stuff, it does actually eat the metal, and it will change the pitch on the screw and a nut in a heartbeat, and you'll lose your tension strength on that bolt. So I don't recommend leaving it in there for a long period of time, just enough to get the rust off the bolt, clean it, and paint it. Brackets like this that are not that dirty, just some light surface rust, it does work really quick. So we'll kind of do this real time, so to speak. I'm gonna let these put enough in here so it'll. Now, this stuff right here, I kind of recycle it. I'll use a funnel and a couple rags and clean all the nastiness out of it, because this stuff's like $30 for half a gallon or whatever this is now. So like everything else. You see how clean the green this is? I've used this a bunch of times and it's still really clean. Basically because I kind of always clean it out when I'm done with it. So I'm going to let these soak while I clean this part off, because that right there is basically not bad at all. It's actually in pretty good shape. This stuff here is a little more, got a little more rusties on it than the housing does. Like I said, once this is cleaned off, you can just wash it off with some water, blow it dry, or you can use brake cleaner. Sometimes you'll see some white residue. You can take some Windex and clean that off, and then you can hit it with some satin clear coat, or just regular clear, whichever works. So, I think my box might have a leak. No, I just got some spilt. Some sneaking away over here. Use bristle brush, old toothbrush. You can use Scotch-Brite also on that. So you see how bad it was, and it's already starting to eat that rust off of there. Now they say there's some stuff you can make like out of vinegar and something else, and it kind of does the same thing. I've never tried the vinegar to see if that actually works. Wiping down the bar that's in here, and you should see it. It's already eating that stuff off. When you got light surface rust like this, it comes off really easy. It's like I said, it's the scaly stuff. It works good on control arms and stuff like that, but the thing with the rear control arms is they're coated, so it'll normally take the coating off of them. They're galvanized, the upper and lower rear control arms. So if you're trying to clean those up with this, just to get some of the old dirt and nastiness off on the rear control arms, don't leave it in there very long. It'll take all the galvanized completely off of it. You can just see how much cleaner that is already. And I've only been in for a couple minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'll show you this bar too. Like I said, this has just been soaking. You can see right in here, I've been brushing on, all that rust is gone already. Stuff works pretty good. I'm definitely a fan, let's say that. So instead of me watching me brush this for 10 minutes, I'll pause the camera real quick. I'll get it all cleaned up and then show you what it looks like when it's cleaned, and show you what I'm using for clear coat. I got some old, I think engine and enamel flat clear is what I'm gonna use on it. So we'll be back in 5 or 10. All right, so I did spend about probably 20 or 30 minutes cleaning the brackets. Show you they turned out amazing. I'll show you what I used and my process. All right, so if you remember what that looked like a couple minutes ago, this was all nasty, rusty, and none of this is painted. So once I'm done with the old rust dissolve in the bucket, I took this outside, I washed it off with a water hose. Now that metal's going to turn kind of like a blacky gray color. What you do after that, you can clean it off real good with some window cleaner, degreaser, or whatever. Wash it again, blow it dry. I bring it back in and I take a little wire wheel on a drill and just go over the metal. It'll bring all that original metal shine back, and then hit it with a light scuff pad. So that's the wire wheel I used. and then I use just a little cut off scuff pad, and it brings it back that shiny factory color. That's bare metal, it's not paint. I just wiped it down with some glass cleaner, a couple little junky rags, and that's what you got. You got a nice looking brand new clutch pedal assembly that I'm going to come over here on my trusty junk shelf over here. I got some old 1K matte clear. I'm going to put some matte clear coat on it, then I'm going to reassemble it and put this bitch back in the car. Alright, it is installed. I'll show you real quick. Carpet's in the car. Now keep in mind, this is the original carpet. This car, it's got 27,000 miles on it. It's in amazing shape. I vacuumed it, cleaned it a little, but not much. Look at that carpet. Woo-wee. Now, that looks way better than all that rust we had going on. Got it all cleaned up. Like new money up in there. Everything hooked up. So that's it for the carpet and the clutch pedal. Now next we get the dash in. Heater course will be in tomorrow. Clean up the heater and HVAC box. And I'm hoping my die is going to be on Thursday, so I'll be able to wrap this video up on Sunday with the dash installed, steering column, instrument cluster, and all that good jazz. So the main thing about this video, I'm trying to work as I go and post video on Sunday. New project coming. Not going to tell you what it is, but new project coming. Like I need another one, right? Anyway, let's keep going on this one. Alright, so they're back on the inside of Frankenstang. I got the dash out of the back garage and the heater box. I'll show you how nasty, kind of dirty they are real quick. Alright, so this is the dash. Now keep in mind, this is a 27,000 mile car. Was sitting inside an open garage up in upstate Indiana, about 3 hours from here. So you're going to get a lot of surface rust on anything that's bare metal. Like I said, you've seen the dash, or the clutch pedal assembly. I got that cleaned up. And over here, we got a bunch of mud daubers that had moved in. So I got to take all that apart, disassemble it, wash it, soap and water. Over here, we got a new heater core for the car. This, I got my SEM trim from NPD. And this is, of course, from, well, you see it. We'll compare those and see which opal. That says 2021. What's the date on this can? 2021 as well. Now, those cans were bought for Project Field Snake. So I used those on the interior on that probably last year. So I probably bought those before I moved from Utah, or that's some cans they had that had some 2021 dates. So if we're worried about that, the color in the can ain't gonna change because it's the 2021, but I'll see if I got a newer can somewhere. But those are the ones I did Field Snake with, and it looked amazing, but I did the whole interior. So if you're trying to dye something like a center vent for an original dash pad, we'll see how the LMR compares to the SEM from NPD. So I'm gonna get this done today. I'm gonna go ahead and tear the dash apart, airbox apart, get to taking the rust off this frame, get all those nasty mud daubers off there, get it to assembly. Once I get the dash apart, I'll show you all that, and I'm going to retape the wires if they need it. I got special tape for that. I'll show you that as well. And let's get to cleaning this nastiness. Alright, I just got to show you all what kind of shit you deal with when you got a barn find, low mileage car that's been sitting in a barn. This is the shit you find. Alright, so you find stuff like this and this. Mud daubers. More mud daubers. Nastiness. The AC vent box. Mud dauber. This. Other side. Mud dauber. Just everywhere. Everywhere. Now, this original cluster over here, it's got 27,180. That is actual mileage. The car was wrecked in late 93, early 94. Maybe a little after that. I'll have to look at Carfax again. And it's been sitting in a barn / open garage. It did set out in the field for, I think he said about a year, but then they put it in their body shop. He quit doing work, but they didn't have any doors. So you've got moisture, humidity, rain, nastiness, mud daubers, animals, critters. So when you find these barn find cars that you think is an amazing deal, it's good shape. Now, the black one, Beater Bomb. That's a Texas car that sat outside. It sucks. The cars that sit outside, the paint gets destroyed. But most of the time, if there's sealed up, nothing goes in there because it's super, super hot in those cars. So when I took the airbox apart in that one, when I had to do the ECM harness on that thing, nothing up in the airbox. It's super clean. But now these cars that stay inside and under trees and shade trees, they get all kinds of shit in them. So I'm going to go ahead and finish taking this harness off, get the dash disassembled the best I can, taking out Soap, water, scrub brush, clean all that nastiness out of there. We'll get that funk gone. All right, and just like that, an hour and a half later, most all that nasty rust is all gone. Way, way, way better. Now, I washed it with Purple Power first, with Scotch-Brite, cleaned it up. Then I put some of my rust stuff in a spray bottle, sprayed it down, and used a Scotch-Brite to scuff it down for about, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes. And then if you're going to do it in the shade, because if you try to do it in the sun, it dries really fast. So I got my little pup tent sitting out there. Washed it down like once I was done with Purple Power, and then went back over the wire wheel on a drill. Cleaned it up super nice. Now, probably the fastest way to do this is have it sandblasted. If you got a local blaster that can do it with some media for like, I don't know, 50 bucks or so. Or if you don't want to spend 50 bucks, I got an hour and a half in it, a little bit of materials, a little time, labor. And, you know, you get the gratification of you did it yourself. So, but the only way you get all the little rust pits, like there's still a little few in there, the only way you get all that out is technically sandblasted. But this is 100 times better than what it was, and I think it looks more OEM than if I would sandblast it, because you're going to lose some of that sheen. And then even once you do that, if you want to bring some of that bare metal look back, you got to wire wheel it again to make it shiny. So yeah, like I said, this is what I'm talking about. These little rust pits, there's not much you can do with that. I mean, it's all off. So I'm going to go ahead and take the dash apart, get it cleaned up, wash it with some soap and water, let it dry outside, and then get it ready to dye. And then I'm going to do the same thing with this nasty heater box. So one thing at a time. Once I get the dash cleaned up, I'll show you how to dye that, do it properly, tape it off, and make it look good. And what I do to do the top of it, the black, make it look good. So I'll get this apart. All right, back on the dash, install and assembly. I'm going to show you the heater box, old heater core. Now keep in mind, I tore the heater box completely apart. There's on the blower motor side on the bottom, there's two 8mm, 5/16, whatever, little screws. You can take them out, and the box disassembles. I flushed it all out with good soapy hot water out of the water hose, because it's pretty warm out there. I use lemon dish soap detergent to clean the heater box out. And now the heater box got some foam in it. Let that sit and dry. Let it sit overnight, and then blew it out. It's nice and dry now. And all that foam I normally spray with a little bit of Febreze. Any scent is fine, whichever one you prefer. Helps take some of that odor out of that old foam. Sadly, I haven't seen them make a foam kit for these heater boxes yet. Maybe one day they will. So we got to do what we got to do. So let's check the heater box and the dash. It's ready to paint. All right, so heater box. Now, the two screws I was talking about are down here on the bottom. You take them out, and this side of the heater box separates. Now, I also took the blower motor completely out, hooked it up, make sure it works. It works fine. Put the new heater core in, clean this box completely out, washed it. You see it looks amazing now, nice and clean. No more mud daubers. All that looks like new. Now, this is the old heater core. It looks pretty good. Now, keep in mind, it's a low mileage car. It should look good, but it sat with coolant in it how long, so who knows how long it would last. So, but it looks pretty good. I've seen way worse for sure. So that's the heater core right there. Now, the dash. On the dash, I'm going to paint the opal first, so I can then come back right through here where a tape line is and use fine line tape on the opal and have a nice good line there. As you can see down here on the passenger side, Ford doesn't do the best right through here taping these up. So that's what I mean. I'll do the opal first, then I'll come back and tape the opal with fine line tape, and then paint the black. So that's what I'm using right there. So on the black, I'm going to try something a little different. I don't even know where I put it. Losing stuff. I ain't even got started yet. I went and got some interior semi-flat paint from the Vato Zone. I'm going to see what that looks like as compared to the SEM trim black that I've been using, because it's quite a bit shinier than what it should be from the factory. So I want to kind of make it match the opal, kind of semi-flat. So that being said, I'll get this taped up and maybe set the camera up and show you guys how to paint this stuff. All right, dash is taped up, giving it a little scuff down with Scotch-Brite. That's where the tape line is going to be. Now keep in mind, if you get a little blowback under the tape, we're going to paint the black next, so it's going to have to be perfect. So that's how that's going to be. Just like that. Now we're going to use the SEM opal on this one from NPD, and this is what I'm using on the black. It's a Duplicolor vinyl and fabric semi-flat. So I'm going to set the camera up And watch me paint the dash. Not much to it. All right, so we're gonna rattle this can for about 5 minutes. You don't have to lay it on heavy. This is trim paint. It lays down pretty good. Basically just, I can tell you right now, it already looks better than the other guy. The other guy's stuff. Wow. Mercy. So far, I'm impressed with this color. Now, we're going to do the color test here in a minute on the actual pad of the dash, the LMR versus the NPD, and see which one. Now, I don't think it'll matter if you're dyeing your whole interior, because they're both the same price. So I can tell you on the LMR stuff, it does look a little lighter than what factory is supposed to be. Oh, and another thing, different conversation. For people that freak out about they have to have an OEM black dash, every dash from 91, I've probably even said it, the backs of these dashes are all molded in black. So if you're freaking out, you gotta have an OEM black dash. You can take it completely apart, scuff it down, dye it with the correct stuff, and have a correct, done, restored dash. You don't have to have a black dash. So you guys out there that are paying $600 or $700 for a black dash, you know, they do make, that's just one thing, LMR does make the vents now, so you can buy new black vents. You don't have to dye them. All you really got to dye is the dash. And this stuff here, this stuff covers really good. Very impressed with the color match thus far. Now my son's got a red 93 Cobra, and he said he got his from NPD, and he painted just the vent because his car came out of Arizona and the vents were faded almost like a white, dingy color. They tend to do that out there. Kind of like the one in Beaterbaum out there from Texas. Man, I think I'm almost done. That cover's awesome. I can tell you the other company's paint doesn't do that. It's really thin. Wow. Very nice. Very nice color. Let's see. I've got the original knee bolster cover sitting right here. That's dirty as all hell. So how dirty it is, but this is the original one. That kind of give us an idea. This is just some Windex of how well it's going to match compared to factory. Well, it is a little off. Now, some of this could be because it's faded out, and it does have red overspray all over it. So, yeah, I forgot about that. See all the red overspray already. We'll see. I think the test will be on that dash pad. All right, so let this dry a few minutes. I'm gonna untape it and set up the other table, and we'll get that dash pad out and we'll play with that a little bit to compare the colors, and we'll see which one kind of matches the best. All right, so this is how we're gonna do this. I've got a pad set up, well, not a pad, the original one. I cleaned it up real good, scuffed it down, so I took some of the sheen off of it, and I'll compare it, show you what it looks like to the stuff I just sprayed with NPD, SEM, versus the dash pad. Now keep in mind, this is 30 years of fade, so it's gonna be a little off. But if I spit on it, no, I shouldn't say that. If I wet down the pad versus the color I sprayed, it's almost identical. So we got a little color variation right there. But if I put a little bit of wet there, it's almost identical. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a piece of paper on this side, paint this side with the SEM, then I'll take the paper, move it over here, and do the LMR dye over here. Now, I will say the only way you're gonna get 100% match out of this stuff is just to do it all. If you're doing like a center console cup holder in a 93 Cobra, dye the center console with the cup holder, probably do the armrest as well, and then you can fog. And what I mean by fog, you just take the can and you kind of take it like this, and you kind of fog the glove box where it rounds a little bit, and also the trim panel on the driver's side, so it kind of blends in, because you're never going to get 100% perfect match. I know a lot of people want that, but the only way you're going to get that is if you do what I'm doing. You take everything apart and you paint everything and make it look new again, because you're dealing with 30-year-old faded plastic, 30-year-old faded rubber parts. To match, it's going to be near impossible. So I'll quit flapping. I'll take these up, paint them both, and see which one looks better without tearing it completely apart. All right, so I got it set up. Go ahead, do the SEM first, and then I'll do the LMR second. Now, the problem with doing this is I'm gonna have to go back and take all of it off with some lacquer thinner, because I'm doing a comparison for y'all. So to see which one matches the best, just so we know, right? All right. Shake up the, I've been shaking this up, but I'll do a little bit more. I'm gonna put a piece of tape over here on this other side, because if I don't tape this side, it's gonna be kind of cheating for the LMR can. So we won't have a basic idea to compare it to. That's bad. Ooh-wee. All right. Oh, man. Sure. I don't know if y'all ready for this. Now, got some racing stripes, y'all. All right. So y'all ready? This is pretty bad. All right, so this is the NPD side right here. This is the LMR can. Now, I've always thought, because I've done a lot of 93 Cobras, I always use it. Most of the cars I do are leather, so the TMI leather is kind of a lighter color gray. It's not exactly like the factory gray. I've never bought the SEM from NPD. I've always used the LMR opal, and as you can see, this is your factory right here. Yep, it's that bad. This is the NPD. This is your LMR. Now, there was a piece of tape right here, so yeah, I can see a little difference in color. But is it this bad? or this bad? Which one do you guys prefer? Y'all tell me. So I'm gonna take a couple minutes, clean this off with some paint thinner, re-dye the whole thing, and get it put back on the dash. So give me a few minutes. All right, so I got everything cleaned up, ready to go. Just check everything out. All right, heater box in, heater box hardware is all done. Everything's cleaned up, everything's installed. Now, a lot of people skip out. There's a little insulation pad that goes here between the ECM and the heater box. That's in place. Got push pin in. There's another one over there. Got to put that in after the dash is installed. So all this is done, ready to go. Now, come over here. Back of the dash. Got all the wires. Did some retaping up in here. Got the push pins, or clip retainers, wire retainers were cleaned up. All this is looking like new money. Gotta be careful. New project cars in the background. Give you a little peek there for now. That's right. Once I get the dash in there, feed the wire through the driver's side, get the dash mounted in, we'll see what this puppy looks like. And bam, just like that it's in. Well, not just like that, but it went in pretty easy. So that's it today. Get the vents straight up there, make them look pretty. Got all my white repainted with the paintbrush. Hell yeah, that's new money. Ooh-wee. Walk over here. We'll be paying attention to that silver car sitting there. That's another video. Now, see all that nice, no rust. Everything is cleaned up. Hell yeah. Looks good. So that's it for dash heater box install. Now, this may be like a 16-minute video, but honestly, I've been working on this probably 4 days, getting everything cleaned up, painting the dash, getting everything installed. Yeah, it just takes time to do this shit right. I know a lot of people, might say, well, you can't see it. Yeah, I know what's in there. So it's done right, and that's all that matters to me. So let me know what you think about the build. We're back on Frankenstang. I got to want to try to get Krispy Kreme painted this week. We got a lot of rain in the forecast, so I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't want this car sitting outside while I'm painting that one. So, and this silver car, I just kind of showed you a little bit. That's another video. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And trying to get this video uploaded or downloaded, or however you say that, by today. Today's Sunday, so everyone's having a good Sunday. Thanks again for watching my videos. And those of you that liked my last video, appreciate that. For those of you that left, oh well, you don't get to see content, I guess. Or subscribe, and I'm sure you're still watching. Yeah, thanks again. And everybody have a good weekend. And just remember, it's not just junk, it's Fox junk.